So I thought I would do a little quick video on what we feed our little guys, little baby sulcatas. We have like a mixture of just weeds from the garden or from the yard, grasses, some clover, some dandelion leaves, and then what we do is we just sprinkle this stuff on here twice a week. So I'll just give it to these guys. That's Sheldon, and Ernie's still in the cave. But I bet once he knows this is. I've been reading a lot about like what to feed the sulcatas, and a lot of people are saying like, well, first of all, don't feed spinach, but or iceberg lettuce, but like kale and greens and romaine, you can feed up all those. But then I was looking at this forum yesterday, and they were like, you know what, like you shouldn't be buying your sulcatas groceries from the produce department. And it just sounded like somebody who, and she was somebody who knew a lot about sulcatas and baby care and all that, and she was just encouraging people like, look in your yard, use weeds, use grasses. They mostly just eat grasses and weeds. They're not, they don't need vegetables from the produce store or something like that, which is what we've been doing, and what the lady here on island, we live in Hawaii, told us to do. So that's what we've been doing, and they seem pretty happy. I did the other day cut up some romaine and mix it into their food, which I guess you can do like, maybe like once in a while, but it shouldn't be like their regular food. So yeah, just look around your yard and make sure there's no pesticide sprayed in that area or in your yard at all. Like any fertilizers or pesticides, you don't want to ever get you don't want to ever get weeds or plants that have been sprayed. It's just not good. So we don't have any of that happening in our yard. So I think, yeah, they're pretty happy. They get really excited when there's this weed that grows in my grass, and it has a little pink flower on it. I don't know if I have it. It's like a pink or a purple flower. It's not really bloomed right now, but the calcium's on it. But that's like their favorite. They will just like go there with their little legs super fast when we put them in the yard. We don't let them like free roam yet or anything like that, but we do sit out there with them and let them get some sun. But they're right by the window too, so they get a lot of sunlight, and then direct sunlight all day. But then we also have the heat lamp, because even though it's Hawaii, it does get cooler here in the evenings, in the wintertime, and even in the early mornings. So like right now I think it's 70, which is kind of cool for us in the morning actually. But normally during the day it's like between 78 and 82, which is a perfect temperature for them, and we have really high humidity here. So we don't do a humid hide, and we don't do any like spraying, because the humidity is just so high in Hawaii that if you do too much humidity, it can make them sick. And the owners here, the people here who do the tortoise reserve, have told us that they've lost quite a few baby tortoises because their hide was just too humid, and it was like there was mold. So we have to be careful here. It's not like that other places. But yeah, so, and also I learned this week that tortoises like to eat a lot of succulents, and they can have them in their space. So I have a few in there, you can see, and they have eaten the bottom leaves, but they've left the top. And then they have that cactus over there just for fun. So Sheldon's already buried himself inside his food. Sheldon, say hi. Hey, buddy. You find anything in there worth eating? You have some grass? So there they are. They're cute. Oh, Sheldon was not going in his hide. So one of the forums recommended that we put him in his hide every night and then we like block him in there, which kind of seemed really sad. But it's worked. He goes in there now. Sometimes he doesn't and I have to put him back in. But for the most part, he'll stay in there. Last night he didn't stay in there. I put him in there and he like left right after I put him in there. And then I had to block him in there again. And then he stayed. But Sheldon is, I'll show you Ernie. Ernie's in here. He's not ready to wake up, but I'm going to pull him out. There's Ernie. Good morning, Ernie. Sheldon still has grass attached to his face. Sheldon was the runt, and he also has some sort of condition on his butt where his shell didn't close. But he seems to be okay. I guess there's another tortoise that had that happen and they lived for a long time. So he's the spunkier one. He has the most energy. He's always first to the food and he's always trying to get out of the habitat. So Sheldon, where are you going with your grass? Okay, well that's long enough. All right, you guys. If you have any questions, you can post them below. We can figure it out. Having sulcatas is awesome. They are the best little pets ever. They're so fun.